Incredible. They've done it again. The channel actually keeps
Yay,
uploading.
Rick Jason. More views than we thought on
Oh.
the one TikTok, I guess. It's incredible. Leave a review. Yeah. Okay, guys, a lot to talk about today. Jack here with Ethan and Rob. Gotta love a podcast where you have two hosts who are meeting for the first time live on air. I think that's the best way to do it, is like just get the live, like, meet each other, you learn each other's interests, the hobbies, just everything. Like, you just gotta go. You don't know anything about each other, right?
No, I mean, we met in a group chat about 7 hours ago. So
Yeah, six,
I
7 hours
like him
ago.
already.
Hey!
I like him
yeah,
already.
And
So-
Ethan Chubb has already caught up to all of the Robert Watson lore of 2025. But all right, guys. First thing to talk about, I'll pull the list up later. Pretty obvious. The first thing we got to talk about: USA sweeps gold medals in men's and women's ice hockey. Don't think we won the actual Olympics. Believe it or not, I think Norway is like a stalwart of the Winter Olympics. I think they broke their own record for most gold medals in an Olympics. So Norway up top. Shout out to them. But yeah, Team USA takes those last two golds, I believe. Like, I think it was the record number of gold medals won by women at the Olympics for the United States as well. So another cool thing, but banner year for the USA. I'm a longtime hockey fan. Ethan, you are a 7-year hockey fan now, I would say.
yeah, it's about 7 years. Yep.
Rob,
Yeah,
you're wrapping up
six,
that home
seven.
stretch of the first campaign. You know, you're rounding the bases and heading home on year one. So we're all at different stages of our hockey fandom. Ethan, you would think, hey, I'm going to go to you here to start this, because I mean, you're a guy who understands USA hockey. But before we get to that, I think I got to ask Rob, because Rob has a better perspective on this than you or I, Ethan. To me, Team USA men's winning gold is like the biggest thing of all time, like that I've seen my whole entire life. To you, we were texting about it, one of the biggest things ever. Rob, to just your casual, just your average American sports fan, what were your feelings Sunday morning Team USA wins gold in overtime?
It was definitely tough. Like, it was cool to see because I at least watched Miracle before, so I know a little bit of the lore, and I had known they hadn't won gold since 1980. So it was like nice to get into it. It's nice when the country could kind of be, together on something that's very rare nowadays. So I thought it was really cool to see, especially like the way they won, like him getting hit in the face and then scoring the goal was insane to me. So for a casual watcher, I think that, like, I know a lot of like bars were open for like early watch parties. I saw some people really enjoying themselves. I think it was huge.
Yeah. No, I was definitely out there enjoying myself. Ethan, as a seasoned USA fan now, you suffered that loss last year at Four Nations in overtime. Take me through that Jack Hughes golden goal and Megan Keller golden goal, because that one pretty dang big too. They didn't take a gold medal home last time either.
Yeah, just for me, nothing but excitement and finally just a turn of the tide for what has seemed like my entire lifetime. We finally caught up to the big brother. We finally got that gold against them, and we're finally on top until 2030, until we can play them again. We've officially dethroned Canada. As of right now, hockey is still our game. The cup remains in America, and the gold medals are back in America now too. So, completely up for the U.S. And just the way that the boys did it too, going into OT, just all the events that happened, Hellebuck just being an absolute brick wall, stopping in net, and then just from us getting dominated like the entire game, us, finding a way to get to this into OT, and then Jack Hughes scoring the winner with, a big assist by Zach Werenski, who actually ice time was cut that game a little bit, a lot, which we can get into a little bit if you want to, but
He was hurt, wasn't he?
just crazy. Yeah, that, and also he does this thing in Columbus where he likes to throw Hail Mary passes from behind the net to
Well, Kevin Love.
from
length of the
to
court.
behind the blue line. And if you could tell, a lot of those icings were him, because he does that in Columbus. He throws it to Marchenko, and it scores a lot. It's really productive. They had in the Slovakia game, he had an assist that was like that as well.
Yeah.
Just
Stretch
perfect.
pass.
Like, yeah, stretch pass. And against Canada, it's bad. You can't keep giving them, ozone face-offs, and then they're winning everything, and it's just constantly in their zone. So he didn't get as much time, and there was also a little bit of injury there as well. But I digress. Extremely happy for the U.S. men's and women's. The tide has finally turned, and the gold is in America.
Yeah, just one of the coolest things ever. Like, after I remember being a little kid, like I was ironically out at a bar as well in 2010 when the gold medal game was in Vancouver. Sidney Crosby, golden goal, like, and then just like you take the pros out of the Olympics after 2014. They didn't play in the last 2 or 3 or whatever it was leading up to now. So it's like, okay, they're back finally. Like, you lost the best on best last year at Four Nations. Just crazy. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, like, it's got to be up there. I mean, I can't sit here and say I've watched the full Miracle on Ice 1980 Oscar to Charlie front to back, first page to the last page. I haven't. I would have to think Connor Hellebuck's performance, though, is right up there with Jimmy Craig's in that game, though, back in 1980. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, they got worked, you know. Like, I mean, you come out, like, you score that early goal, you were on them the first like minute and a half on the Mac line for Canada, which like might be the best line ever put together in the sport of hockey. But hey, you find a way to get it done in the end, like killing off the 5-on-3. You get the 4-minute power play. You take Hughes actually himself takes a dumb penalty, then you're back 4-4. You kill one, you get to overtime. I think they got stuffed early on too. I think we had a real good chance, like even earlier in overtime, and boom, guys, it's just ridiculous. It was one of the craziest things I've like. And that was in my top 3 sports moments, I think, just in terms of like pure joy, like when the moment happened. But guys,
that line, and for a reference for Rob as well, like Canada's 3 best players were put together like at all times. It'd be like as if like 10 years ago it was like LeBron James in his absolute prime, Kobe Bryant in his absolute prime, and then like Anthony Davis, like first year out of Kentucky, like ready to take over the entire world. And those 3 together were just like running over absolutely everybody, like all tournament long. Just made for like insane. Just a team of like Tony Parkers and Al Jefferson and some guys who were, you know, all stars. Some all stars there.
And they got.
I knew a couple of the guys on USA. But I'm learning my GOAT might just not be a winner, Jack. That's what I'm starting to learn. In my 1 year of watching hockey, my favorite player might not be a winner, is what I'm learning.
Oh, and bro. Ethan actually, Rob, how about you bringing that up? Because I know Rob was dialed in on that overtime. He wanted us to get to Connor McDavid's back check on that game-winning goal by the United States of America. Both Cale Makar and Connor McDavid, I'm not going to say lollygagging. You know, I mean, you guys haven't seen me skate before. You're lucky, but I can't go that fast. But I think, like, if you watch especially, like, Ethan on that game-winning goal, like, the way that Jack Hughes, when he enters the zone, like, he almost kind of, like, loops and, like, opens himself up wide a little bit. Like, he doesn't, like, just come in the zone in, like, a linear line, right? Like, straight to the net. Yeah. Like, he comes in, like, loops around the top of the zone. Like, Connor McDavid passes him. Like, I was talking about with my dad. Like, goes straight past him. At any point in time, like, McDavid, hey, he can turn, or boom, looks at him. Dylan Larkin was like turning in the corner. He was the hell out of the play, right? Like that was his guy. Like Connor, that was objectively Connor McDavid's man who scored the game-winning goal in the Olympics.
And his stick, he was, I wouldn't say he's close, but like the Werenski pass was right by.
Werenski like double clutch, yeah.
It was like maybe a half second more. McDavid's intercepting that puck easily intercepting it. And then also it's like, did Hughes mean to shoot that, 5-hole? Like, was he trying to go like, up top with that? Like, I don't
no clue.
It was just a bang bang play, which was just like insane.
Last thing on hockey I wanted to talk about with you guys, though, because I guess we can relate it in multiple ways. Actually, there's another thing to talk about after this if you want to. There's a whole treasure chest of things we could get into after. But 3-on-3 to decide it. So back in 2010, USA loses the gold medal game. Could be wrong. Maybe that was 4-on-4. I was 8 years old, but it was not 3-on-3 hockey. It was at a minimum 4-on-4 hockey, which is how it was played for a long time. Like, everyone in Canada is screaming from the top of their lungs right now, like 3-on-3 is not real hockey. Like, it'd be the same as 3-on-3 basketball, essentially. Like, scoring's a million times easier. It's way more open. It's a totally different sport. What are your guys' thoughts on, because like Stanley Cup, for example, 5-on-5 continuous overtime until the sun goes down. They would play 5-on-5. What are your guys' thoughts on ending something that big, not in its truest form of how the sport is played, like 5-on-5?
Either you could take it first.
So for me personally, and there's a huge debate going on too about 5-on-5, 3-on-3. Obviously, the Canadians are the ones who are talking the most about if it should be, best on best 5-on-5. And obviously it would favor that way. They were destroying us while it was 5-on-5. And that makes sense. This is the Olympics though. And I understand, and it makes sense. Like, ice hockey, men's ice hockey specifically, is one out of a grand community of 30 to 40, maybe plus sports that are going on. Like, they're not going to sell short on, just because, well, in the NHL, it's supposed to be 5-on-5, best on best. So this is what our rules are going to be. It's like, no, like, they have timelines that they need to be. They're coordinating with so many countries that are flying into their city and playing. And I know the IOC committee and everything like that is working very diligently to make sure these Olympics go well. I don't think they're.
Are you siding with Big Olympics on this one?
I don't think that they're sleeping, going to sleep at night, waking up in the middle of the night with them being like, man, we really should have made this 5-on-5, in overtime. Like, no, you have 3 periods, play the game, it gets to 3-on-3 at the end, and then the tournament's over. This isn't the Stanley Cup playoffs where you have 7 games and then 5-on-5 in the overtime and stuff like that. But I think for how it is, that's just how the Olympics is. You got to take it at face value. So for me personally, obviously I want best on best, and that'd be great to see. 3-on-3 is so fun. It's so exciting. You obviously knew it wasn't going to be very long because of how good these players are, but I think 3-on-3 is exciting in its own regard.
I actually completely agree with his sentiment of the Olympics are a completely different thing and the overall just schedule of it all. I think it's super well. I'll get to that in a second. If people are complaining about it, you knew the rules of the game heading into it, and you knew it was 3-on-3. And I was watching, which is crazy, but I'm pretty sure Canada got the first possession, right? Like they had, and they scored it off of like a missed shot. Yeah, like there's nothing to complain about in basketball. No, I wouldn't want to see a game decided on 3-on-3 because it's way more space. Players are really good. But I don't see how you can complain about it if you got like first shot. Like if you got first shot in 3-on-3, you probably got like a 2/3 or higher chance of making your first shot and winning. Is one goal.
Mhm.
They didn't take advantage of their opportunity. You knew what it was. They should have maybe been more patient, or they should have took advantage of that opportunity. They didn't score. Do I agree? Yes, that I would have rather seen it be a full game. Yes, I think anyone in any sport doesn't want to see modified rules for overtime, pretty much. But the fact is, it is what it is. You knew the Olympics were how it were. Ethan talked about it. They got stuff they got to get done. They got to stay on the schedule. So it was 3-on-3. You had your shot and you didn't take care of it. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, guess what? You know the best thing about YouTube or wherever actually no, YouTube, it's the only places it's going out. There's no commercials. So you know what? No commercial break. Guys, the National Basketball Association is returning. We're already back. We are back now from the All-Star break, guys. The more I think about it, the Cavs have been back and play for a couple days now. So was it 3 years ago now the NBA made this change in the rules?
I don't
2
remember.
or 3?
This is recent though, because the load management thing.
I think this is the first year of it.
No, I think it's more than one. Oh, is this because wasn't there the one? I thought maybe last year there was debates going on like, oh, like maybe Donovan won't be in any when we were like really hot to start the year, like whatever, like oh if he doesn't play the amount of games. But regardless, yeah. It's
23-24 season.
I would say it had to be the last 2 years because Joel Embiid would have not won that MVP when he did.
2023-2024 season.
I think he played 61 games that year.
But is it 17 games is the most you can miss now?
You can miss 17 games, but your NBA Cup games count though, which could be an extra game if you make it far enough. So Wembanyama
can you lose on an NBA Cup game?
As long as you play, it'll count. So if you have what could be a hypothetical extra game, it counts. So Wemby went to the championship. I'm pretty sure the Spurs won it. I think they won it.
The Knicks won.
No, they lost to the Knicks. Went to the championship, lost to the Knicks. I was thinking about the Thunder game. He gets that extra game so it'll be a plus on. It counts towards getting the 65. So he could technically miss 17, but still hit 65. But it's an interesting thing with this, Jack. I know you're about to get into it, but there's a lot of top contenders.
No, you guys, please get into it. I am a vessel for communication on this topic, guys.
So here's the deal, man. Shea's out right now with an abdominal injury. He's the leader. I would say if he makes it to the 65, he's most likely, as long as his play stays the same, when he gets back from injury. Jokic is like right there. I think he can only miss 2 more games, and I think he's probably definitely going to, considering contending team, they're going to try to make a push. Other names that are in there that are like super close is Luka's really close. He would be up there. He's already, I think, about 2 or 3 games away. Wemby's top 5. He's close, like I just said. And then once you get down below that, you got the Jalen Brunsons, the Donovan Mitchells. Kawhi Leonard's already, I think, past it. So it's going to be an interesting pick. Ethan, I'm wondering who you're thinking, because I have a guy in mind who I think is probably by default kind of going to win the MVP. And it might be, I don't know what the books are saying, but kind of get it in on it early now. But I think we're going to see like a very unique name win this season based on these new rules.
Okay, and I like that opinion too because my guess was just going to be Shea. So I had specifics too. So Shea is 6 games. So Shea can only miss 6 more games before he comes ineligible. Jokic is 1. So Jokic only has
Oh,
one
he's only
more game.
one.
He's
Jokic
right
has
there.
1 game left.
Oh,
Because I
He's out.
remember when he came back, everyone's like, "Oh, he's cheesing the system because if he would have missed one more, he wouldn't have been in the running." Wemby's at 4, Luka's at 5. So all these players are extremely, extremely close, cutting it close, and like I don't think we've seen anything like this before. And like it is kind of funny because it's like these players with load management and dealing with their injuries. Some are injured. It is what it is, but it's kind of really starting to like come into effect now where it's like Adam Silver's kind of like sitting in his chair, like, you know what? Maybe I got something right here because these guys need to play. We can't have our top 5 favorites for MVP have all of them be riding the line of playing, getting that minimum of 65 games. But to answer your question, Rob, for me, I would just say SGA right now it would be my MVP pick because I think the Nuggets actually did very well without Jokic when he was there. That's not to say that averaging a triple double is not impressive or not valuable to the team. But this Thunder team is just a nonstop, constant train moving forward. And obviously, you're the champs until you're dethroned. And I think Shea's the MVP until he's knocked off. And I don't feel like there's been that much of a tide turn to where I give it to someone else. On another end, what I really do love, and another story with that is with MVP and someone who I might, and I apologize if this is who you're thinking of, but I'm gonna say 3 names for the both of you, and I want both of you to tell me, and it's okay if you don't know this, to tell me what these 3 people have in common: Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Giannis Antetokounmpo. What those 3 guys have in common. That's okay if you
won
don't.
the finals with the team that drafted them.
Okay, no, but that's a good guess. Rob, any guesses?
It's got to be correct though.
So I would assume something with just like when they're on versus off the floor with those. No idea, but
So it's those are the only 3 players in NBA history to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same year. So Giannis was about 5 years ago, which I know it's like supposed to be a rare stat, which that happened recently. But I think that Wemby has a chance, maybe this year, maybe in his career, to become the 4th and maybe do it more than once. Because if he gets that 65 with how many blocks he averages per game, I don't see a chance that anybody else dethrones him for decoy.
Well, yeah, won't it be like Rudy Gobert, where it's just like he just
Yeah.
gets the award every single year until he doesn't?
And Evan Mobley has looked like crap. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out for the year, getting surgery for next year. Wemby's going to be the runaway. Yeah, it could be load management. He's going to be the runaway favorite. So, like, imagine that though. Like, wins MVP and decoy. But that's just my tinfoil hat theory, though. What are you thinking, Rob? What was your thoughts?
so I would agree if Shea could come back. I know they said they're gonna reevaluate him. I'm pretty sure it was this week and not next week for the abdominal strain. As long as he comes back and he just keeps it similar, like there's no huge drop off, like it's not bothering him, he would win it. Like his stat lines are ridiculous. He's averaging 32, 5, and 7. Like he's just a crazy player on the best team in the league. I'm going based off. I think all these guys are gonna rest though. Like I think the Thunder are gonna really want to be careful with Shea. Like, because say he comes back, he gets a physical matchup, he busts it up again. I think they shut him down for another 2 weeks, and then you're looking at it. He's right on those 17 games. Wemby, tall guy. We're talking a turned ankle, like literally anything. Like he's just a couple games away. They're thinking big picture too. So my sneaky pick, who I think is gonna kind of just get maybe like a participation trophy MVP this season from the load managing, is Cade Cunningham. This guy has been playing out of his mind in Detroit, and it's one of those things where he's got to play because the team is not the same without him on the court at all. Has the ball in his hands all the time. He's averaging 26, 10, and 6. He plays every night. I don't think he's close to the limits. I think he's going to safely get that 65 games. But I think he's a sneaky pick, a sleeper pick, and it's not one of those things where he's really the best player in the league, but he might be the most deserving because he's been the most available and most important player to his team this season.
I love that pick. And it's Caden them? Oh, that is Caden them. Guys, how far is this name off of the game cutoff list? Because if this team stays hot, stays towards the top of the East, not saying he's going to win, but I know he's in the conversation. Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the conversation as long as he hits the 65.
I was seeing a lot of buzz
That's my
about that
question.
too.
How many? What is he like game count wise? Do we know?
I would
Yeah,
have
so
to take a look.
So he's played in 51. He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, good. Think about that team though. Like they traded off Porzingis, Andrew Holiday, right? Like Tatum's out for the year. Like everyone kind of wrote that team off in the offseason. Like weren't they supposed to be like a play in or like regroup, get out of the second apron?
Yeah, definitely. And this was supposed to be kind of like a retool year in a way. Kind of like how the weird
retool, yeah, not rebuild.
Weird comparison. Kind of how the Florida Panthers are having this year in a way, just dealing with a little bit of injuries, where you're not going to push some of your guys who are lingering off of injured and whatnot. But I mean, like these Celtics have been extremely productive as well. Mazzulla is obviously just a psychopath of a coach, but he's a very, very good coach. They're getting great minutes from Pritchard, Hauser, Neemias Queta is actually like a rebounding machine. Like they have some guys who are pitching in aside from Jaylen Brown, and they moved on from Anthony Simons as well at the deadline too, which I thought he was going to be good for them off the bench, just a little too inconsistent. So like they've built a really good team kind of like around Jaylen Brown, and it's been fun because the talk about Jaylen Brown for the longest time was like, how is he going to be as a number one? It's like, well, we're kind of seeing how he isn't as a number one this year, and it's a perennial MVP candidate. That's a top 10 player right now. So it's
theoretical for
fun.
You guys. Question. So Rob, me and you did an interview together with Scoopy Robinson a few months ago, and he said, what Scoop? And he said Cat's a guy who wants to start his own team. And I'm not trying to break up the Boston Celtics. I don't know if we're big enough for the Boston Globe to catch this, but in a world where Jaylen Brown, let's just say like I don't know why it would happen. Boom, he's gone. Who do you guys think would have more success like leading their own team, Cat or Jaylen Brown? Because isn't Jaylen Brown a few years younger than Cat?
I don't know the age difference. It's close. That's around the same like group of years in those drafts. But I would say Jaylen Brown because you're seeing it. Like we saw Cat lead his team. It happened once before and it didn't turn out that well. And he's now honestly he's a sidekick. And I think that's kind of more so where he's more so best fit in the NBA is that second guy. He's an amazing second guy. He's an S-tier second guy to have on your team. But I no one expected this from the Celtics and Jaylen Brown this year. Like they sold and they performed so well. He performed him, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, so much that they go out and they get like a Vucevic at the trade deadline. Like they're now like we're still a contender. Like, and so I doubt we'll see the world. Like the Celtics would be insane to let both of them go, and especially considering the contracts. I know Brown and Tatum are on. I don't know how they'd find a way. Like that trade would look insane. Kind of like us trying to trade. Like I don't know that they could find that Darius Garland 1-for-1 swap.
Yeah, you got to go on the ESPN trade machine for an hour.
Yeah. But I definitely think Jaylen Brown would have more success if you dropped them both off. Like if you went and put Jaylen Brown on, I don't know, like the Kings and then Cat on the Hornets or something. You got rid of other guys. That this is your team. Go.
I feel like Cat on the Hornets would be the most black hole thing ever. Like he would just suck for so long. Flipping it over, guys. College basketball, going from the association down to the college ranks. Guys, it's just one of the most fun years of college basketball ever. Like I think I like that. That is a very blanket statement, guys. Why does it seem like not even just like it seems like everyone's paying more attention to college basketball this year? Why is it?
I think for me, first and foremost, obviously, you read all those things about all those freshmen and how this is but this is easily the best freshman class in college basketball history. There are 10 to 11 freshmen who could possibly go number one this year based off of fit. Obviously, with Boozer being arguably the favorite for number one as well. Cooper Flagg reclassed out of this class as well, which is even crazier. So that
really,
this class would have been even bigger. But for me, what I like is coming from college basketball. I like that the top 5 teams are all from different conferences. There's a lot of polarity within different conferences. We've mainly seen, for a long time was SEC and a lot of Big Ten. There's been a little bit of a tide now where like the Big 12 is kind of taken over. They have a lot of teams that are ranked and a lot of teams that are favorites to become champions. And then obviously ACC you have Duke and things like that. But Gonzaga will always be lingering around, but just a lot of polarity within the conferences will always keep teams and different fan bases rooting for their team to try to take down that fan base. Like we don't see the Big Ten, for example, having four out of the top 7 ranked teams. So I think just polarity for is a good reason for that.
I am so sorry to cut you off, and for just this we're staying in college basketball. We're veering on the same highway. We're not going anything too crazy here. Mick Cronin, the UCLA Bruins basketball coach. Did you guys catch wind of this at all?
Yeah, I still didn't look this up. Tell me real quick.
Ethan, did you? So he's had a couple of things where I think he got he's almost I'm trying to think of a good maybe like a Mike Gundy in college football in a way. He's a bit of a polarizing figure. He likes to get into it with the media a little bit. He'll get over, I don't know, like a torts a little bit in hockey in a way, Ethan. There's a huge thing where another coach on their schedule was crying poor about NIL funding, and Mick Cronin Venmoed the guy $1 and made the caption NIL. So this guy's already a bit of a whack job. And then they played a nationally televised game. You're 23 years old, you can talk, last week. And Mick Cronin sent one of his kids off. He ejected his own kid from the game. No, I mean, not literally. He just have you guys ever, because I mean, you guys have been around basketball sidelines your whole entire lives. Have you ever seen that where I know Draymond had the thing where he left the bench and went to the locker room. I don't know if that was last year now or 2 years ago, whatever. The coach sent his own player to the locker room mid-game. I've never seen that before.
I've seen some stuff like that before.
Really?
He probably really overstepped. That kid's probably something probably outrageous. But yeah, it's not crazy. The type. There's coaches, definitely a lot less now. But I mean, that's if you go back a couple years, that was a much more normal thing. But still, very very reasonable response depending on the actions. I don't know what the kid did, but
and we're in an era now too where every single sport is player first coaches too. So you really had to do something to make them upset. And I can tell you this, I bet you that instance where he got sent off and what he got mad about did not happen there first of that game. That's been brewing for probably weeks in practice and other things like that. Because coaches pick their favorites, you guys know.
Well, okay, so wait, where were we? Oh, okay. To jump in on what we were talking before that, I was going to say we're seeing it. There's been, I think NIL is a super hot topic in college football, but I think it's so seamlessly transitioned into basketball to making it a better product. He was talking about the polarity. I think it's just the simple thing is that it's fresh this year. You know what I mean? We haven't seen a BYU in a while. We're seeing the teams Iowa State as a top 5 team. You're seeing the whole Big Ten is amazing. Illinois, whoever, Purdue, the whole conference. Duke, Michigan is complicated. Arizona's still good. Houston, top team. Miami of Ohio is putting up a great season in the MAC. St. Louis is a top 25 team. Vanderbilt's been decent this season. St. John's is back. Kansas. You're getting a mix of all this stuff. You're seeing all these schools get the collections of talent now. I'm sure you're watching some below low mid-level basketball. I'm sure the talent drop-off is apparent at some point. But when you get to turn on the TV and say you're a fan of the Big Ten, everyone's a great team now. So when it's Nebraska versus Iowa State, that's probably a game you wouldn't have watched 3 years ago. Probably would have been, mid television viewing. It's a great game now. Michigan State plays out of con against a Louisville. Great game. I mean, those are two teams that are usually pretty good, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. And then the star power just everywhere. You're seeing the 5th years, you're seeing the 5th, 6 years, whatever. The guy for Michigan, Yaxel, great player. You get to see him. That's someone who was at UAB last year.
Yep.
But then you still get the young guys at Duke. So I think there's just been a really good mixture of the freshmen and the NIL rebirths that I think fits so much better for basketball. And I think that's why a lot of people were always talking about the basketball players really needed to get paid. Because I think it's just transitioned so well. These guys, when you invest $1 million into AJ DeManza, you only have to invest $1 million once. He's going to be on your team for 1 season. So you're not stuck in this thing where if he underperforms, you're stuck paying this kid. You promised him this for 4 years, and it's likely, it's a little bit easier to just tell. The freshman is going to come in and he's going to play good. So it's coaches could just recruit 5 stars now. And it's yeah, I think he's a pretty safe bet. I think I'll pay Cam Boozer money. But you could also say, this kid was averaging 25 in X conference last year. I'm pretty sure he could come do that for us. So it's it's a lot more just, plug and play. And I just think it's been a very easy transition. I think NIL has been a positive for college basketball. And I think I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think we're going to see an amazing tournament this year, like one of
Mhm.
the better ones we've seen in a while.
That's why I wanted to ask you guys about NIL too, because I think one of the more interesting elements is like how you have to allot all of the money out to the different sports. And like how much do you guys think that affects like take like a Creighton, for example, who like, and I'm going out on a limb. I could be dead wrong about this. Creighton could have like 10 of the best women's athletic programs in the country that I was just unaware of, right?
Mhm.
I'd go out to limit to they're probably not good in most sports, or they don't have a ton of sports even in the first place. Like maybe they have like the Olympic sports and one or two more or something, right? Like if you're not spending football money, like isn't it easier to get these kids there too in the first place? Like I know there's like your BYU's and your Kentucky's of the world who are double dipping and doing it well right now, like what BYU is doing. And isn't Texas Tech basketball not bad either?
Yeah, they're top 25.
Yes,
Mhm.
like they're
They
double
got some
dipping.
guys
Like
out there.
some schools can do it, but like not everyone can. I think that's one of the biggest elements to play, and also like just kids staying at schools for more than 1 year. I know it's tougher now with like kids being poached anywhere. Like, yeah, if you average 20 in the Sun Belt, you're probably going Power Five next year because they're going to need to score. But like, if you can keep kids together somehow, I feel like that's how some of these schools do it too when it comes to March Madness time, or even over the one and dones, which is like that's been a story before NIL though, I guess
Mhm.
really. Um, Rhys Hoskins, Cleveland Guardian. What do you guys think? Ethan,
For
is
me,
this now an
honest,
A
so
plus offseason?
what does bro do? They said he was like Unk. Is he like a former like really good player and now he's like washed and that's why we signed him? Is
Mhm.
that the gist, or is he still got some like does Unk still got it? Let me know.
You said Jack, you're gonna have to explain this to me. You knew
So,
the book front to back.
I read a TikTok comment. That's all I did.
Jack, I'd like to hear your thoughts first, if that's all right with you. I would like to hear
Yeah.
your thoughts on the Rhys Hoskins trade first.
Um, I think it's a good signing overall because I think he's naturally one of the better hitters on your roster, just like off rip. Like I mean, like he's a guy who's had a lot of major league success. I know it didn't come last year. Like I think weirdly, like the last 2 years, actually, I think I saw he's hit better against right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching, which is odd. But like, he'll probably he's always hit lefties decent, so like that's gonna come to him. He'll be okay. But like, you're probably gonna see him take most of his bats against lefties. Like he's gonna be a split player, probably platoon.
Mhm.
It's really odd for the roster construction to me. That's the one thing that doesn't make sense. And I don't know where David Fry is at health wise, so forgive me. But if David Fry is like, no, this is good for David Fry. This is a good for David Fry moment. Um, if David Fry is 72.5% of the way to fully healthy, Austin Hedges should just not be on the roster. Like I just don't understand why he's on the team. Well, no, here's the thing. Like you can
I
laugh
thought
about it,
they
but like
extended him.
but no,
I
they
thought he got
did. It's a waste of money every single year. But like,
4 million, 4 million every year.
yeah, like if David Fry can be your backup catcher and just give Bo one more huzzah here and see if he can hit 280 for once or whatever and make it through the All-Star break, like go with Bo and David Fry as his backup. You free up a whole entire roster spot. That way you can keep CDL, Valera, who was the other CDL, Valera, and
Davis.
Nolan. And I was and Kafis. All those were the four names I was looking for, plus Quan, and then you can still have like Rhys Hoskins on the team and David Fry and have those ready bats. Shit, you could even have a Schneeman in there somewhere if you like trade Nolan if he has a good spring, or if Kafis. I think there's a very good chance Kafis starts here in Columbus, which I think people aren't really talking about yet. But
That's
I
our
think the
first
thinking
baseman.
yeah, but like you want to give him to play every single day, and at first base, like Manzo should be playing damn near 140 games this year. Rhys Hoskins is going to eat whatever at bats remain at first base. David Fry is going to eat whatever at bats remain at first base. So like, there's not many spots there. I don't buy into the Quan playing center field, and I'm not going to sit here and say like I've watched him like take center field this year. I haven't. I just don't think that makes sense. I think they're going to try and deal him for the value he still has in left field. He's one of the best, if not, he is the best defensive left fielder in baseball. He's more than fine right there. Considering I don't think that happens, you're going to have to rely on probably Nolan and Chase DeLauder in center field more to start the year. So with that, like I just don't see where you could quantify having Kafis on the roster when you could get him at bats every single day down in Columbus. So it's really just it's odd to me until one more domino falls, which I would have to guess would be like I think they'll do what they did with Nolan, but in reverse of last year, where they traded for him 2 days before the season started. I think their hope, like he already had a hot start to spring. I think they hope that Nolan like has a good month here and they can just like ship him out while he's on his last option, and then you start the with Kafis in the majors, or it's just the reverse, and hey, you start him in the majors and Kafis is in AAA. But there's got to be one more move because they have to have another right-handed batter on the roster besides Angie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, how I saw the move was, and honestly, what blew my mind at first was it's a minor league deal, which is crazy to me because I don't know what that means in regards to how many options they have. What are you going to say?
A minor league deal. This is not always true. Like, for example, Mike Napoli came in on a minor league deal in 2016, hit 38 homers, had 100 RBIs. We went to Game 7 of the World Series behind him, right? So I'm not saying that, like, this will never work out in the history of sports. Typically, guys are taking minor league deals because they're not expecting to break camp or because the major league deal they were looking for wasn't there. I mean, it's not like Rhys Hoskins, got cut on February 21st and we swooped him up. He's been available all off season long, and there wasn't even, I would assume there wasn't even a $1 by $5 million deal out there for him, because if it was, he's probably not taking a minor league deal to come play for the Cleveland Guardians, right?
This is starting to sound very Deontay Johnson signing. This is starting to sound
that might not be crazy far off the truth. But again, and here's my thing. I saw this on Twitter. I wish I had the username. I can't claim that this is an original thought of mine, but I saw that last year was his best defensive year in the field since 2019. So, like, he's still putting work in the field. He's going to be a better defensive first baseman than Kyle Manzardo. You have to think, like, worse things worse. He's Carlos Santana from last year. And, like, Carlos Santana, was it bad? Yeah, it was bad. But it was not as bad as you remember it being. And the same thing with Josh Bell. But, like, I don't know, like, I expect it to be somewhere in the mean of like 2023 Josh Bell to 2025 Carlos Santana. And that's not great, but it's better than what they did to this point, I guess, question mark.
Yeah, I don't, to me,
they didn't do anything again.
Like, holy bro.
To me, I think it's a very low risk, high reward type of move for me. Like, I don't think we're coming in expecting him to play every single day. Your job is to play every other day, and dependent upon the matchup. How about Manzardo a little bit, being a veteran with how to be a professional? His PCI is massive against lefties on MLB The Show, so that means he can hit lefties, right?
Good vision at the plate.
So all of those, like, just play your role in specialty, and if it's not that expensive, like, it makes me happy though that our front office is finally, like, at least making moves for MLB ready names.
Okay, we can't go that far to be happy for them. I agree with you that I think it is a great flyer. Like, that is like that, but that's more like you're walking past the chili dog stand by the Rock Hall and you see that it's 2 for $5 chili dogs today. Like, it's not like you went out and you got a steak for lunch, or you got a good meal. Like, you picked up the best deal you saw on the way. Like, they just like. And, you know what that was? They were like going through Giant Eagle. Like, you had your stick down on the thing. That was like the best deal on gum, basically.
And it's Giant Eagle brand gum, and that's what we've always been. And that's what we've always been.
Paul Dolan said, juicy fruit. That's what you get, Cleveland. Here's Rhys Hoskins. That's what we did.
So how are we? Okay, what's the move, man? Like, I feel like every time, because we're going on year 2 of me attempting to follow this team.
Yes, we are.
There wasn't much to pay attention to this summer. I was kind of keeping my eyes out. I had noties on ESPN, but I didn't get anything until about a couple days ago, and they're playing spring training games now apparently. What's the outlook for the season? Are we just another squeeze-in playoff team? Is that like the best case scenario? Is there a chance this team like catches fire, or are we like a bottom out type thing and we got to start selling some guys?
Do you remember the year when Matt Hasselbeck was the Seahawks quarterback when we were little kids and they went 7-9 and won the NFC West?
And then the Beastquake?
I believe it was that year. I believe it was that exact year.
Beastquake year.
Okay. So we're in a trash division.
So imagine if it was that NFC West, but everyone knew it coming in. This is like, it's weird, man. I mean, honestly, I think the Tigers are going to win it again. And it's not even that they really did a ton this offseason. I mean, bringing in Framber Valdez actually is probably the biggest move in the division, Ethan. Is that fair to say?
Easily.
Yeah, biggest move in the division. They're going to lose Scuba probably soon. I mean, it might be maybe by the deadline. Maybe they just let him ride out the year. But he'll be gone. The issue is, I think they have some incredible prospects. I actually read a piece on Kevin McConaughey. Is that the second baseman?
McGonagall, yeah.
So that kid is supposed to be, according to the article I read today, that kid is the next coming. So I'm a little bit
But you
worried
guys
about.
y'all said that about Bazana, or is he a shortstop?
He's the second baseman. We did
Second
not
base.
say that about Bazana around these lines.
The book's still out. The book's still out.
This was a hashtag Jack Caglione podcast back in the day. No, but back to it. I think the Tigers have a lot of young talent. I think at the end of the day they're going to get through Scooble, whenever that is, after this year or not. The Twins might be like the worst baseball team of all time, and they're only two good players just got. Didn't Joe Ryan get hurt too? Isn't it not just Pablo Lopez now?
He was scratched from his start 15 minutes before.
So their two best pitchers
in
right now.
And
yeah, they're bad.
And mind you, he's supposed to be on the WBC team as well in about 2-3 weeks.
We just won gold. Screw that. But what about the White Sox? What do you think about the White Sox, though? I think they could be okay.
Murakami is going to be a tank. I think he's going to be so good.
Notaka Murakami. They brought this guy from Japan in the offseason. Rob, who's going to be a dog.
I don't understand why he didn't get more hype either. Like, I think his projections all line up with what my expectations would be. He's going to hit 230. He probably will hit 30 tanks if he's healthy, and maybe have 90 to 100 RBIs. And like, I
think his bat supposedly looks like a piece of Swiss cheese when it goes through the zone, though, is the issue. Like, I think he either makes contact and it goes a real long way, or it hits the glove every single time. I think he had like a crazy chase rate in the NPB. But yeah, Rob, to like really wrap into what you were saying or asking, though, like, this is a total, like, I don't think all of the kids are. I think their plan, like their mastermind plan, is that 3 or 4 of these kids come up, be everyday bats, and something clicks, and we win this division at like 87 and 78 or whatever that would be, and we do the same thing as last year, essentially. I think in reality, I think it's not that I don't believe in these kids. I think it's very tough to, like, hey, Chase DeLauder and George Valera, not only can you stay healthy, play great MLB baseball your first go around at it. Like, okay, Juan Brito, you were hurt all of last year. We didn't see much of you. Get up here and do it. Bazana, expectations of being a first-time guy, like number 1 overall pick, like in 2 months he'll be up here. Go and do it. Like, it's just very tough to ask like 8 question marks to go out there and do it around Jose Ramirez, you know? And not that they did anything different from that last year. It was 6.5 question marks in Jose Ramirez, right? But like, it's just very tough for me to spray and pray and not even try in the offseason. You know, like, if they had gone out and like, Ethan, what did Eugenio Suarez sign for? Like $7 million. Yeah, so like he's this guy, Rob, just like 38-year-old, like he's like an Edwin Encarnacion, if you remember him on the Tribe back in the day. Like, just like, he's gonna hit 35 to 40 home runs, he's gonna strike out, he's gonna hit 240, but like, there's gonna be some juice in your lineup. Like, anyone in the world could have signed him, and we couldn't even do that kind of it, like a 1/7 for a guy like that. So like, expectations are low. Speaking of low expectations, guys, last thing to hit on here. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather 2 is going down in Las Vegas this summer. Real quick, guys, can you guys guess their ages while I look them up?
Floyd got to be like 51 at this point. Someone's in their 50s in this fight, bro.
I think Pacquiao's got to be 56.
47 and 49. Pacquiao is 47.
Wow.
I would have never guessed that in a million years. Guys, are we at the point where we got to just like really, really calm down celebrity boxing?
This technically isn't celebrity boxing. This is 2 of the greatest of all time.
I mean, at this point, it was celebrity boxing when they fought 15 years ago. So like,
wow,
it was much different now. You know, like that wasn't a pro bout either. Guys, I just like, was this not just one of the most like, why is this happening things you've ever seen come across the timeline?
Yeah, that's cash grab though. I mean, people are gonna. I mean, you're gonna open up Netflix and watch. You don't even have.
I will be watching
it. Yeah.
Ethan, let me ask you, because I get to talk to Rob about this frequently. Where do you fall on the Jake Paul fighting saga, everything?
So I'm out on Logan Paul now. We talked about this about a year ago. I used to be in on both. I'm out on Logan. Not the biggest.
Is he the WWE one?
Yeah.
Yes.
The wrestler.
I am in on Jake because because I think his fights are very, very entertaining. I think he does a lot of the sport of boxing as someone who's a not very big boxing enthusiast. But I think he brings at least some sort of joy and attention to want to watch boxing. Like UFC to me is
That's fair.
light
Grow
years
the
better.
game. Hashtag grow the game.
UFC is light years better. But like Jake Paul's at least bringing eyes. And like, I'm sorry, like Anthony Joshua was a fucking monster. Like I would not want to go into the ring with him. And he might be getting 50 sheets for that, but man, I'm not. He just had to get a second jaw surgery because his jaw was so messed up. Like I'm sorry, like I understand that there might be the fraud, he might be faking fights. I know Team 10, cringe history, like all that. I'm not invested in that social media stuff anymore. But when I'm watching him with his fights and his buildups, like I do get excited for those. I do enjoy watching them. So I will say that I am a Jake Paul watcher of fights, and I enjoy.
You're an enjoyer of
I'm
hashtag growing the game.
I'm a Jake Paul enjoyer. Is the best way that I could say. I wouldn't say I'm an enthusiast. I'm an enjoyer. What about Rob? What's your stance on all that?
I mean, obviously, I don't like Jake Paul as a person at all, but that is the reason that his boxing career has been successful so far. You watch the fight to see him get beat up, and there was a bunch of pump faking on that because he was fighting a bunch of nobodies. And when the Joshua fight got announced, I told Jack, I sat up there when we were talking about it on the other show we used to do. He is going to get demolished. I don't know how long it's going to last, but he is going to get hurt. I said that's just what is going to happen. I wonder what the next move is because I think the time might be ticking on that gimmick now that everyone's seen it. We were waiting on that 4 years to see him get popped. It happened. So now it's like if he goes back to fighting like UFC fighters and grandpas, it's like,
oh, so
okay,
you're saying.
But it's like now you got to step in the ring with another credible opponent, and that might mean you get hurt again. And it's like after 2 jaw surgeries, now it's like, how much more do you want to do? Like we might be nearing the end of the Jake Paul gimmick. I feel.
So you're saying that cute kid from Netflix who came in here saying I like boxing, like he might be done soon. You're saying he's gotta figure that game out again.
I'll tell you one word, and everyone will be back in. Canelo. I mean, and everyone will be back in because that's who he wants to fight. That's who he wants next.
Turn on the TV, but then it's like you die.
I know
it would be like Rocky IV.
You're watching him fight Canelo though. You know what
that's
I mean?
The final cash grab. He makes another. He might make 100 off that, but and then it's like, so it's like now is that the route? So it said, does he try to build it up with a couple fights, or does he go straight into just let's get one more cash grab fight? I'm going to get murdered again, and I just cash out on this boxing and go do another venture.
The ultimate cash grab is fighting his brother, and I don't think that that's too far out of the realm of possibilities.
You know what would suck though? What would be the worst outcome of this? Before we wrap this up, if like he does do that though, and what if he like just somehow caught Canelo, just like somehow just like does it once, but then still retires, so he just goes out and that's it, and then he just like that is the lasting memory of Jake Paul boxing.
Everyone has a puncher's chance. There is not a snowflake's chance in hell he would catch Canelo and knock him out. And I mean, that's like how tiny.
What's his money line?
Jake Paul's?
Okay,
yeah,
plus 780. Yeah,
I don't even think they did it justice for the Joshua fight, whatever his line was. And I mean, you have to give him a puncher's chance, but like, did you see like it was a 5-round fight and he was gassed out by like round and a half? Like he's just gonna run away. Like Canelo's another guy that's just gonna hurt you. And it's like this can't be understated enough. The jaw surgery is serious. Like for most boxers, like getting knocked out in jaw surgeries, like that goes on to affect you. Like going to get hit again, like his flinch rate. Like I'd love to see what it looks like when he gets back in the ring because that does something to people. It'll make it easier to get knocked out again. And it's like that jaw is not the same. Like that jaw could become a glass jaw. So I would love to see him get in there and it's like, oh, the bravado is cool. But you saw his face after a heavyweight hit him. So now it's like, you know what that feels like. And Canelo is another one of the strongest punchers in the world. So, I mean, he'll get in there. He'll probably run again. It's really hard to box. It takes a lot of cardio. And especially if you're just going to run away from your opponent. So it's just like he'll get a round and a half and then he'll get caught. He'll get walked down.
So much cardio.
He'll get walked down. Okay, guys, last thing for you as we got out of here. Ethan, you mentioned the UFC for like 8 seconds, so I thought of this. What would your guys' UFC walkout song be? So it's a 2-part question. What would your guys' UFC walkout song be? And what is your favorite UFC walkout song?
So my walkout song, easy, would be Champions, Kanye West. You know our
Well,
song.
one of the greatest songs of all time, if not the best song of all time.
I think it would start in with like the big hook in the chorus. You know the part in which it would start. And then I would say I don't want to be cliche and say Sean O'Malley Superstar Walk In. That's very, very good, but it's kind of cliche. I would say I like Alex Pereira's Walk In because he wears the Poton mask and has all the makeup on. And then he walks in and he pulls back the arrow. And then he's got his tribe with him, and then he fires it, and he like screams. Like, to me, I think that like everyone is like watching like this is like an experiment when he's walking in, and he makes a huge deal about it, which is really good too.
I also think like O'Malley. That's like that would be like a popular pick. I used to really like Adesanya's walkouts. I mean, I don't remember if he did a specific song, but it used to be a spectacle when he came out.
Just cool entrance.
But Tom Aspinall had a good one too.
I feel like some of the fighters change it up. No, like not all of them have like.
Some guys definitely switch it up every single time.
Yeah. What would I come out to? I don't want to like mix it, but would it be crazy to like come out to John Cena? Like, is that like an insane walkout?
Oh, that'd be so dope.
My time is now is the walkout. Like, you just hear the beat drop, and I'm just like walking down to the ring to Cena. Well, not the ring, to the octagon, but I feel like that's dope.
No, that would be so dope. I think my favorite is Petty the Baddie, like the heads will roll where he does like the da with the crowd. I think that's cool. Or Korean Zombie, when the Zombie by the Cranberries, that one's so sick too. That video where like the whole crowd singing Zombie is so cool. Yeah. I can't even like picture myself like walking out for a fight in an octagon. Like I just think that's so like out of the stratosphere of possibilities in my lifetime where I can't even like think of a song that would just like that would be my song to go out to. I don't even know. Maybe like Hell's Bells. Just the bells. I think that's how it would go. Yeah. And then I'd probably see bells in about 10 seconds. All right. All right, let's call it Ken.
Unbelievable. He's done it. He